Good morning, dear students. How are you all? I hope you are doing well and good at your home. Listen to your parents. Stay safe. Wear mask whenever you go out. Apply sanitizers. Alright? So, today I am going to start a new chapter. So, open your science book. Lesson number 1, Growing Plants. I want you to listen whatever I am reading. Underline the words whenever I tell you to underline the words. Alright? So, listen it very carefully because next day I might give you to read the chapter. Alright, so let's start. Growing plants. Let's get started. Look at the pictures of the fruits given below. Write whether each of these fruits have no seed, one seed, few seeds or many seeds. So there are 6 fruits are given and you have to tell which seeds have seed, which fruit have seed, which fruits don't have any seed. Alright. So I think you can write it down in the gaps which is given below. Right. Okay. New plants mostly grow from seeds. Seeds are from flowers. So we can say that seeds help the plant to reproduce. However, there are some plants that do not produce seeds. How do they reproduce then? In these chapters, let us learn about the various ways in which plants reproduce. New plants from seeds. Most fruits and vegetables have seeds. New plants grow from these seeds. Let us do an activity to understand the structure of a seed. So there is an activity given here. It is given regarding to remove the seed coat and observe the structure inside the seed. So you have to find a kind of seed and you have to see it. If you open the seed coat and see what are the structure of the seed given. Alright, I will explain the chapter in the next class. Today I will just read the chapter. Alright, so don't get worried about ma'am is not next day I will explain the chapter. Okay, the seed coat protects the seed and the baby plant inside it. There is a tiny opening in the seed coat called micropyle, through which the seed absorbs water. Above the micropyle is a scar called hilum, which shows the place where seeds are attached to the fruit. The structure inside the seed coat can be separated into 2 halves. Each half is called a cotyledon or seed leaf. The seed leaves store food for the developing baby plant, also called as embryo. Seeds such as peas, pulses and beans have 2 cotyledons. Seeds such as maize, rice and wheat have only 1 cotyledon. In these seeds, the food is stored in a special tissue called endosperm. Not all seeds grow into new plants. Some seeds are destroyed by harsh weather conditions such as strong winds and heavy rain, while some are eaten by birds and animals as food. A seed needs sufficient amount of water, light, warmth and air to grow into a new plant. The process in which a new plant grows from a seed is called germination. The stages of germination in a seed are given below. A seed sown in a soil gets warmth, air and light and water. The seed coat breaks and a baby plant emerges. It grows small roots. The roots grow further and a small shoot develops. As the root and the shoot grow in size, leaves appear and the cotyledon shrink and eventually fall off. Can you see the diagram given below? The stages of germination. I will make you understand everything in the next class. Alright. There is an activity also given. So you have to see the activity also. If you have enough time, you can also do the activity at your home. Alright. Next. Dispersal of seeds. If seeds are sown very close to each other, they will struggle for space, light, air, water and nutrients. Therefore, it is necessary that the seeds are scattered far away from each other. The process in which the seeds are scattered far away from the parent plant to obtain suitable condition for germination is called dispersal of seeds. In nature, seeds dispersal is carried out by wind, water and animals. They are called agents of seed dispersal. Dispersal by wind. Some fruits have very light and hairy or wing-shaped seeds that get caught in the wind and are easily blown away to far-off places. These seeds germinate in fertile soil if they get favorable conditions. Some of the plants whose seeds are dispersed by wind are dandelion, cotton, and maple. Dispersal by water. Seeds of some fruits have a waterproof covering and they are so light that they can float on water and can be carried to far off places. For example, the coconut has a heavy seed inside but it floats on water as the seed is covered by spongy layers of fiber filled with air. The seed dispersal of lotus, water lily, and mangrove takes place with the help of water. Next is dispersal by animals. Some seeds have hook-like structure that help them to cling on to the animal's fur or have sticky substances that stick to animal's skin. This way, the seeds are carried away from the plant. Many birds and animals eat fruits along with the seeds. The seeds come out of their bodies in their droppings and are scattered to different places where they grow into new plants. Example of this kind of plants whose seeds are dispersed by animals are cockleber, mistletoe, and berries. Next is dispersal by explosion. Explosion, you have to underline the spelling explosion. Alright. After the finishing of this lesson, I will give you to underline some kind of words which you have to underline it. Alright. Some seeds have a leathery covering or are found inside pods that explode or split open when exposed to the sun or when they dry up or even when they are touched. When the pods burst open, the seeds are scattered far away from the parent plant. Examples of the plants whose seeds are dispersed by explosion includes pea, gorse, peanut, balsam, and castor. Alright. In the next page number 11, they have given about revise and recall. So they are given the match the seeds with their corresponding dispersal method. Alright. So you have seen there are various kinds of dispersal method. So when I will explain the chapter, you will get to know which seed in which seed the dispersal takes place. What are the methods by which the dispersal of the seeds takes place. Alright. New plants can grow not only from seeds but also from roots, stems, leaves, and spores. These are called vegetative propagation. Let us learn now. New plants from roots. Roots of plants such as sweet potato, carrot, beetroot store food. These roots contain small buds from which new plants grow. A piece of the root along with the bud is cut and planted in the soil. Under suitable conditions, these buds develop roots and shoots forming a new plant. Alright. New plants from stem. Various natural and artificial methods can be used to obtain new plants from stems. Some of them are discussed below. Underground stems. Some plants have stems that grow below the ground. Such stems are called underground stems. For example, potato, ginger, and onion. These stems have small buds on them. In potatoes, these buds are called the eyes. Any portion of potato with an eye can grow into a new plant. Next is stem cutting. In plants such as rose, bougainvillea, and money plant, a part of the stem containing a bud is cut and planted in the soil. It develops roots after some time and finally grows into a whole new plant. This method is called stem cutting. Next is grafting. Can you see the diagram? Stem cutting, the diagram is given, right? You have to see the diagram also. Next is grafting. In plants such as rose, mango and apple, a portion of shoot is cut and then attached to the shoot of another plant. The part of the stem that is cut is called scion and the part to which it is attached is called stalk. This method is called grafting. Layering. In plants such as jasmine and raspberry, a branch of the plant is bent until it touches the ground. A portion of it is covered with soil, leaving the growing tip exposed. The portion covered with soil develops roots after a few days. It is then cut from the parent plant and then it grows as an independent plant. This method is called layering. You can underline the word layering. Alright. Next is plants such as strawberry also reproduce through layering as they have horizontal stems that grow near the ground. These stems are called runners. They form roots at regular interval and produces new plants. Next, page number 13. New plants from leaves and spores. In plants such as Bryophyllum and Begonia, new plantlets can grow from well-developed leaves while these leaves are still attached to the branch of the plant. Once these plantlets develop, they drop off or detach themselves from the parent plant. They then grow into new plants on moist soil. In some plants, such as ferns and mosses, new plants grow from a special structure called spores. These are very light and tiny, powdery structures. They can survive for a long period of time in unfavorable conditions. You can see the diagrams. Bryophyllum, you can see the diagram of Bryophyllum. You can underline the word Bryophyllum and Begonia in the above paragraph. Alright. Next come the agriculture. A plant grown in large numbers on a plot of land during a particular season is called a crop. The practice of growing crops on a large scale in fields is called agriculture. Alright. There are various steps involved in agriculture. Let's see the first one. Preparing the soil by plowing the field. Farmers use bullocks or tractors to plow their fields. Plowing turns the soil and loosens it. Next, page number 14. Number 2. Adding manure or fertilizers to the soil. When farmers grow crop year after year, the soil becomes less fertile. So farmers add natural manure or chemical fertilizers to increase the fertility of the soil. 3 number. Sowing healthy, good quality seeds. Healthy seeds are sown either manually in the groups made by the farmer while preparing the plant or through machines called seed drills. 4 number is irrigation or watering of land. The watering the land regularly for the crops to grow well is called irrigation. So you can underline the word irrigation. Modern methods of irrigation such as sprinkles, underline the word sprinkles, are common nowadays. Number 5 is protecting the land from weeds and pests. The farmland is protected from weeds and pests by spraying chemicals called weedicides and pesticides respectively. Underline the word weedicides and pesticides. Next is number 6, page number 15, harvesting. The fully grown crops are cut and collected for use. This process is called harvesting. Underline it. The harvesting can be done manually or with the help of machines called harvesters. Underline the word harvesters. Next, 7 number is storing. Harvested crops are stored in dry, well-ventilated places that are free from germs and pests. Different crops need different climatic conditions to grow. Some crops grow well in hot climate, while some grow well in cold climate. Some need less water to grow, while some need a lot of water and hence grow well in areas that receive heavy rainfalls. Therefore, farmers grow crops based on the climate suitable for each of them. Depending on the time of the year or the season in which they are grown, crops are of two types, Kharif and Rabi. Alright. Kharif crops. Kharif crops are usually sown in the beginning of June and harvested in September and October. You can underline the word beginning of June and harvested in September and October. These crops are grown during this season because they need plenty of water for good yield, which they can get from monsoon rains. You can underline the word yield. Yield means production. Examples of Kharif crops are cotton. Underline these examples: cotton, maize, paddy, sunflower, soybean and millet. Next is Rabi crops. Rabi crops are grown in winter from November and harvested in April. Underline this. These crops do not require much water for growth. Examples of Rabi crops are cauliflower, beans, peas, wheat, mustard, gram, barley and oats. Underline the examples of Rabi crops. Alright. So this is the lesson I have just read today. Next class I will be explaining the chapter. So you can see the keywords which are there from the chapter only. First word is page number 16. First word is seed coat. What is seed coat? The outer covering of a seed that protects the structure inside it. Next is cotyledon, the part of the seed that contains food for the baby plant. Next is embryo, the part of the seed from which a new plant grows under suitable conditions. Next is micropyle. Underline the word micropyle, the spelling. A tiny opening in the seed coat. Next is dispersal, the process in which seeds are scattered far away from the parent plants that help in getting suitable condition for germination. Next is agriculture, the practice of growing crops on a large scale in fields. Next is harvesting, the process of cutting and collecting fully grown crops from fields for use. Next is Kharif crops, crops that are grown during monsoon season, that is from June to October. Next is Rabi crops, crops that are grown during winter season, that is from November to April. Alright. So this is the chapter. The chapter name is Growing Plants. You have to read the chapter once before I explain the chapter. Alright. I hope you like the lesson. Thank you.